This video will check out the latest grocery getter to cruise the mean streets of Agate Bay. We'll check in on a Walthers National Model Railroad build-off module and coming up towards the deadline of June 1st. Then we're going to get down and dirty with the Athearn Primed for Grime Weathering Contest and see how my entry did in that. We'll get a jolt checking out my new LED strip lighting. The latest NMRA Magazine is out, and I have a nice 6-page article in there about out-of-service tracks. A new device that will help the Split Rock Mining Company go live this fall. Talk about a podcast I helped create and host for the Twin Cities division, and a clinic I developed to be shown at various NMRA events online. All this on this latest layout update from the Split Rock Mining Company. And the latest vehicle on the Split Rock Mining Company is this 1966 Chevy Chevelle station wagon. This is created by John Tyson, better known as One Quick Nova on the auction site over there at eBay. And I used Scotch tape for the windshields, a la Mike Buddy, and some photo etch parts. I'll show you that some details he sells. Here's the photo etched parts you can get for your automobile: steering wheels, rear view mirrors, windshield wipers, door handles, hood ornaments, all kinds of neat stuff. Here's the transparent tape you want to use. Make sure it's transparent, not the cloudy stuff. And you attach that on the front and the back and cut it with a really sharp knife. In your chrome, this is a liquid chrome pen by Moloto. It's 1 millimeter. It's very fine. And here's the pen. I got it from the Hub Hobby. You can see it's a little pricey, but it is worth it. You can get all the details on your HO or even N-scale vehicles with this little chrome pen. And here's our next one, is a 1967 Chevy Impala 4-door from the same John Tyson. There's the underbody. And here's a photo of his finished model. I think I'm going to go with a little darker color. So I looked up the color chart for Chevys, and I found this really interesting turquoise. And I think I got a match for it, and I'll show you that on the next video when we go to that. I even have scale license plates that are correct for Minnesota for the RI model. And where do you get them? Well, from the master auto builder himself, Mr. William Sampson. Check out his channel, The Sue the Milwaukee Road, and you'll see lots of great scale builds.
But you just like him for the curmudgeon.
And Walthers is having their National Model Railroad Build-Off 2021. I decided to enter, and you need to build a 2x4 foot module. Here's a brief overview of my diorama. Where I've got a main line and a spur and some wetlands in between, a service road, and then the Walthers components. You can see the grain bin I built. I added a propane tank that'll feed the grain dryer and the main elevator. Here's the tower that'll connect and pump the grain from the bin to the elevator, from the elevator to the dryer, and to the dryer to the storage bin. See, I named it Ellie's Feeds after my youngest granddaughter. And here's the storage shed they supply. And then I made a county road. And you can see they pulled up the rails, so the county had to repave over that. And then they added a new crossing. Some more weathering going on there. From this angle, you can see I've started static grass on this end. I got a couple colors applied. I'll probably add 3 or 4 more different lengths. We'll clean up that. The main line, started to weather the rails on there. This will be brush. And there's the laser cut wood crossing that the county has added. And some of the wetlands. You can still see that's drying, some of the material that I use. And you can see the elevator is now named for Ellie and Isaac. It used to be Ellie's Feeds, now it's Ellie and Isaac. That's my grandson. He wanted to be in on the action, so I made a sign for him. Looking at it from the rail side, got the track in, ballasted. This is my handmade track. You can see some dirt. Now you see the black ties. They put a tie replacement program in there. And here also you can see the joint bars. I've used these etched brass joint bars every 39 feet. And there's the ties that I've moved in the dirt where they've disturbed the ballast. And there'll be even more. They've painted, Maintenance Way has painted dots on the ties to be removed. This area here with the retaining wall and the class 5 gravel is where I'm going to put a defect detector, milepost 63.5. That's what I'm calling my diorama. It'll sit there, and with apparatus across the track that'll check for defects in the trains as they go by. And the service road I've got in, I'll show you the material I used for that. Started the weathering process, and there's the wetlands. They're drying, that's why it's two different colors. I got a couple different types of foliage in there, and the reeds, I'll show you what I used to make those. And this is all due by June 1st, so I've got about a month and a week to finish this up. And hopefully it'll look pretty nice, and I'll have a nice module for photographs when I'm done. Here's for the materials for the dirt here. A friend of mine, Dan, went to the local baseball field and picked up some clay. I like it because there's no shiny pieces in there like any quartz, so it looks like dull mud you'd find around a working area. Here's a sandy desert terrain from AK. I use this for the service road. They make some neat diorama products. This is what it looks like on the inside. Use a spatula, take it out, smooth it. You can water it down a little bit. It dries up quite nicely. And then this is the mud. This is Vallejo's thick mud. I use this to hold in the reeds. I put around the area. It's wet, and you can stick those woodland scenic tall grass like these in there. I cut them in half, mix them up, a couple different colors. And once it dries, then you can trim them to the size that you want. I've used that on my layout. Kind of makes a nice little display. And here's the new one, AK's Water Gel Swamp Green. I thought I'd give this a try. In the jar, it's really light green, but it dyes to a much darker green. And this is the second coat I've put on. And the jury's still out on this for me. It has too many bubbles for my liking. Maybe Woodland Scenic's water with some coloring might have been a better choice, and painted the bottom. But I thought I'd try something new. It's a good time for experimenting. And here's the Terrain's asphalt product I really like. In there too, it looks like fresh asphalt. You can smooth it out with some water. I use distilled water and a spatula to create the roads. And it takes paint and weathering and powders real easy to make it look more sun-bleached and worn out. I'll be adding the stripes and the railroad crossing painting on there within the week. This will come out really nice. But there's an overview of the diorama. Here's the Kaiser Valley models, etched metal joint bars. I got the 6-bolt ones for the main line, 4-bolt ones for the spur. You just clip these right out and attach them with your favorite form of super glue. Paint them, weather them up. I notched the rails too with a Dremel disc, actually a real smaller type of disc. But a great little detail. I'll put links in the description for all of this stuff. But check them out if you like etched metal detail parts. Athearn sponsored a Prime for Grime weathering contest. I entered. There's my starting boxcar. And I finished her up. It was due the 19th, so it's all over. Here's the initial box that I started with. And I will show you photos of how I got to my finished product. I had a friend of mine's daughter, artist, commissioned her to do up some custom graffiti. Some nice drawings on both sides to go along with my weathering with powders and airbrush and other such things. Some oils I went at it and dusting things. And there we go. You can see on one side you got Badash, the little girl. The other side Badash and the sword guy. Came out pretty cool. Here it is running on the layout. The LED lighting project is 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Got the power supply, and got a power cord from the hardware store. I got a hook to my 2 dimmer switches that arrived, and there's the 4 strips of the LEDs all up there, and you can see that you can adjust the dimmers, and I can dim each color to get the right combination of light that I want to have on my layout. Now here's the issue. The lights don't provide enough brightness. They're too far up. If you look over in this area where the LED lights I've installed are much closer to the layout, and even in my shadow box down here, you have a much brighter looking scene. You have a much better daylight looking scene. That's because the lights are closer, so I am going to have to bring down those lights all the way down, probably another foot. So I'm going to have a taller balance. Now I did move them out from the layout, but I'm going to have to take these attachments and move them down, and then we'll have the scene lit the way we want and maybe make Vermilion Yard look like a much better shadow box to look like the lower level Agate Bay Yard here. So live and learn, and we'll show you how that goes in the next segment on the upgrades. And here we have the April of 2021 NMRA Magazine. Really cool. I had an article published in there, out of service tracks. And there we go. There's the split rock mining. This shows how I created some out of service tracks on purpose. There's my name, Thomas Gager, MMR. And then nice 6-page article, full color photos. There's the switch that I constructed without the frog, the different areas, setting the scene up there. And I even did my little out of service tag. I want to thank Cynthia Priest and the staff at White River for making me look so good and editing this up. So the April 2021 NMRA Magazine, nice little article I got published there. So I purchased a cam link and I set up OBS software, and I had a lot of help from this guy. Yes, Heath. I'm not blaming Heath. I'm thanking Heath. He helped me get to where I am, and hopefully by this fall, we will be doing, there's Heath's channel, Humanity Junction. Check him out. Amazing modeler, amazing person. We'll be doing some live feeds from the split rock mining and the workbench, and I even have a new camera on order. It's good for webcasting, and look forward to that this fall on the split rock mining channel. Here's the NMRA-X events. You can see I was at the 2 p.m. I made a clinic on modeling rip tracks, repair in place. I showed how the prototype works, how to model them, and how to do some operations. And here I am talking to the President-elect Gordy Robinson himself. What a treat to be on the NMRA-X with Gordy. I also produce and co-host a podcast now from the Twin Cities division called The Crossing Gate. It talks about model railroading subjects, and you can find our podcast on iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify. It's kind of fun. We got a good crew. We've got 7 episodes out now, over 1,000 downloads. Check us out. Give us a listen. If you want to join in, let me know. Send me an email. I'll put all the links in the description down below where you can listen to this. I want to finish up with some nice shout-outs. Here's for John, Schuylkill River Valley. John helps out the YouTube live community, puts together schedules, does a lot of great stuff. Check out his channel. Dakman Productions. Check out Sean, expert in 3-rail and O27. Even shows operations in the larger scale. It's a great channel. Georgia Sunbelt. Check out Anthony and his channel. His layout's coming along nicely. Shares a lot of live feed things. You'll enjoy watching his layout grow. Also, the Train Freak Jason. Check him out. Sidetrack Sundays. Some wonderful interviews. Gives back to the hobby in many, many ways. And then, of course, Humanity Junction. Check out Heath. Has many live feeds. The chat is just so much fun. Make new friends. I recommend this channel highly. And, of course, Sue the Milwaukee Road. William Sampson puts out great episodes, great series, and a lot of fun with the curmudgeon. Make sure you check him out. As always, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Give me some feedback in the comments. Love to hear from you. I'll put links in the descriptions.